Hello, this is reporter Julie Spencer, and I'd like to welcome you to Newsline, Iowa City. Please join me today as we take a trip to the Iowa City Police Department and talk with officers Denise Brotherton and Jory Bailey about the daily operations of the department. Can you give me an overview of the Iowa City Police Department?
Well, what we have is we have several divisions at the police department. There's a patrol division, investigations, we have records, dispatch, we have community service officers, animal control is actually under the police department, and then we also have a street crimes unit. They kind of fall under investigations. Some other specialties we have is we have the special response team, and that's comprised of members from either patrol and investigations in that street crimes unit. We have crime scene technicians that go out. We have a bike patrol. Can you think of anything else, Jordan?
No, other than my office, the crime prevention office is one. So.
Can you tell me the primary duties of a police officer?
Entails a lot. You know, they just routine patrolling, which would be patrol duties, including general enforcement of all state laws, city ordinances, traffic enforcement, community presentations, community involvement, public education, general investigations, some crime scene work, pretty much patrol officers' duty. It's all sorts of gamut of things they can do.
How many police officers are on the Iowa City force?
Right now we have 75.
75
officers. That includes, I believe, 2 that are in the academy, and I think in the near future here we'll be hiring a couple more.
You talked about the different divisions. Could we talk about that a little bit? What is the crime prevention program? What's that consist of?
That's my office, and well, the crime prevention office or crime prevention program has existed since late August, early September of last year. Prior to that, it was done away with for about 7 years due to budget constraints and what was thought as needed or not needed. What I do, or some of the programs that I implement, you know, I have a couple goals, first of all, and the first one is to build relationships within our community. I believe that you know, perception of police officers, perception of our department is based off of, it can be based off of a 5-second interaction that a citizen has had with a police officer, or it could be a 5-minute interaction, and that's what establishes their perception of officers. So I think that establishing good relationships and establishing good perceptions of our department and what our officers do can help build upon future interactions and make those interactions go smoothly or more smoothly. So I go out into the community and I interact with community groups, community organizations, members of our community, and try to build those positive relationships so that future interactions with the police, future perceptions of the police are always good. Along with that, I have crime prevention programs that I implement. Neighborhood Watch is one of those, probably the most well-known programs that I implement, at least nationwide. And that is neighbors coming together to communicate with each other, to work together to help make their neighborhood a safer place. Other programs are Crime-Free Business, which is a new program that we just implemented in December of last year. Crime-Free Business works with that. And it helps those businesses, you know, gives them some tips to make their business a cleaner, safer place to shop. So just a couple of the programs that we've implemented.
What is community policing? Is that a program, or?
It's more of a way of thought, a practice, if you will. Community policing is officers interacting with the community. Becoming a part of the community. I use the example of, you know, the police car creates barriers in and of itself between the officers and the community. So getting those officers out of their police car and interacting with the community, whether it be stopping in a business that's in their beat area, or, you know, walking a beat area to interact and take away those barriers between the officers and the community. It's kind of the idea behind community policing. And you know, making police work a part of the community and having those officers be a part of the community and an accepted part of the community.
And bringing in community involvement and input into what we do also.
Exactly.
So if there's a problem in a neighborhood, it's just not the police's problem, it's the whole community problem. So it brings in different points of view to solve the problem. What the police can do this, but what can the neighborhood members do? What can the businesses do? And that's kind of where the crime-free business comes in, neighborhood watch. That's all part of that community policing philosophy, in that the police can't solve the problems by ourselves. We need the community. So you break down those barriers so the community gets to know the officers in their area, so that they can work, establish relationships to solve the problems in those particular neighborhoods.
What's the juvenile curfew program, and why was that implemented?
That was in response to some problems in the community with unsupervised juveniles out. It's a response for the community, not necessarily that the police started. The city council initiated that, and then took input from community members of if they needed that, wanted it. It is just something that obviously we would enforce. We had some input in, but it's not something that was created by the police department.
What's the Crime Stoppers program?
Crime Stoppers is actually it's separate from the police department. We obviously take the information, but it's community members that they establish this program. There's a board of directors for Crime Stoppers. Those are made up of community members. What we do is, obviously the tips are called into a Crime Stopper line that's anonymous. We field those tips. They're all over Johnson County, and then follow up on. But it's actually ran by a group of citizens.
How does the police department view the underage drinking at bars?
Well, ours is also a response to state law. We enforce state law, we enforce city ordinances, and we respond accordingly. Obviously, with binge drinking, excessive drinking, there's other things. There's a bigger picture to that. There's fights. There's people's safety in jeopardy. So we want to control that, keep that at a minimum, because we want to keep people safe. And that's where our viewpoint comes into it, as safety issues. We don't get so wrapped up in ages as in this is what the state says. What we look at is safety and trying to control those environments to keep our community safe. And we go by whatever the legal age is. Obviously, if the legal age is 21, but then you can establish that people under 21 can be in a bar, it's harder to control. There's a large number of people, the bars are large. It's going to be harder to control who's drinking, who's not drinking, who has access, who doesn't. It's harder for us to enforce. We're going to always support any initiative that's going to bring safety. That's to the benefit, that's going to curtail any binge drinking, because we see the harmful effects of that.
What's the special response team?
Special response team is SRT is the acronym for it. If you've heard of SWAT teams in other cities, on TV, etc., it's basically the same thing. We call it Special Response Team here in Iowa City. It's just a different name. We do the same thing. Special Response Team responds to incidences that may be more high risk, that we wear a higher level of armor. We're a specially trained unit to deal with instances, search warrants that may be more high risk, that may have weapons involved, things of that nature.
Can you tell me what's the protocol you do? Say like a call comes in through dispatch that a robbery's in progress. What's the first thing you do here in the department?
The first thing that happens is the call comes to our dispatch center, and that dispatcher will immediately dispatch an officer, a patrol officer. They're going to be the initial officers responding to any incident, a robbery, as you've given in your example. When they respond to that, they're going to arrive on scene. Likely they're not going to enter the business. They're going to wait for I believe dispatch is going to call the bank and make sure that everything's safe inside, and wait for a representative to come talk to the officer. Other officers are going to arrive on scene and secure the area immediately.
I have a question for both of you. Why do you like being a police officer? Why did you go into the field?
I think a general answer for most of us is going to be that desire really to help people and work with people. That's what our job is about. That's what we're here. Part of you know, you here for police is serve and protect, and that's what we do. We serve our communities. There's also the fun dynamic. Addition to that is our job's never the same. We get to see parts of life that many people don't have the opportunity to see. We have the chance to influence and help people solve their problems. I mean, basically, police officers are problem solvers. And any situation, whatever, even that robbery, you're a problem solver. And so those are the things that I think attract all of us, and being out, being active, interacting in all those different ways would be several of the reasons I would.
Sure. I agree with everything she said. You'll never find a more diverse career. You know, our office is on wheels. We're out in the community, we're interacting. We get to be out in the sunlight, we get to be out in the snow if it's snowing. So you'll never find a more diverse career with a lot of discretion. And I agree with the problem-solving portion. You know, we're all problem solvers. You know, whether it's mediating an argument between a husband and wife, or an argument between a business owner and a patron, but solving those problems and helping, you know, helping the community that you live in, being a part of the community that you live in.
What do you see as the major challenges for the police department here in Iowa City now and in the future?
Probably the same challenges that they've had throughout the years. College town, always going to have issues with drinking. If you look back in newspapers from the 60s, there's editorials and columns about people drinking and fighting. We're always going to have those, and it's being creative, different ways to deal with those situations. You're always going to have crime. You know, our community is only going to get bigger, and with a more increase in population, you're going to have an increase in crime. And creative ways to deal with that too, as our community grows and we remain a safe community. They always say Iowa City is a big city in a small town, and we want to keep that, because we don't want to be a big city, but we're going to have those dynamics and how we can still maintain the quality of life for our citizens in dealing with the problems that are always going to be there. You know, homelessness, domestic abuse, child abuse. You know, there's those same general crimes, but it's dealing with it, helping our citizens deal with it, not letting things get out of control.
Do you want to add anything?
No, I agree. I think, you know, we're not going to completely ever solve, you know, every problem in our community. So I'll just reiterate, you know, coming together as a community, working together. You know, our community is going to continue to grow. So not neglecting the need for more police officers, the need for more public safety officials, firefighters, etc. That's one of the things that we can address with the growth of our community, but also working together to solve some problems away from, you know, just adding more police officers, putting more police officers on the street, being as proactive as we can to solve some of the problems. You know, not only as far as adding more police officers, but working together to solve some of the problems as well.
This program has been produced for Channel 18, PATV, Iowa City.